Hi everybody, I want to do a quick video about some career advice on how to even land a job. So I do all this test prep stuff and I'm going to teach you all this stuff about how to pass the test. Well, that's all well and good, but if you can't get a job, it doesn't help. Okay, so I want to give you a little glimpse into some strategy on how to land that job. Now, I'm going to be speaking from a California point of view, and so if you don't have the OIT 1800-hour rule in your state, it's going to be a little different. Please put in the comments below what state you're in and kind of how that works for you. I think people would really benefit from that. And by the way, if you have a job as an operator and you're listening to this video, please put your story in the comments so that you can help people and what state you're in so you can help people kind of figure out what they need to do for them. So from my vantage point, I fell into the industry. It found me. I didn't find it. So I don't have the experience of going to these big utilities when they announce OIT jobs and competing with the best and brightest that are trying to get into the industry as well. And when I say best and brightest, I'm not saying that tongue in cheek. I was just talking to a guy the other day and he's trying to break into the industry. This person has a bachelor's in chemistry. I'm a college dropout, okay? He has a bachelor's in chemistry and he's got certificates that I would hire him if I saw his resume. And he was a finalist for a large utility, and he didn't get it this time around as an operator in training, okay? So my advice, and I'm going to tell you my story in a second, but if you don't want to listen to my whole story, I'm just going to tell you my advice. Look in the places that you'd least expect, okay? State parks, national parks, trailer parks like mobile homes, campgrounds. These people need wastewater operators. There are small plants that need wastewater operators. Sometimes contract operators will take the risk on, but they typically don't like to hire OITs because what happens is contract operators will hire you and you will get certified. And then a lot of times those certified operators will jump ship and they'll go to a municipality. Okay. So contract operators, you might find a large, like a Viola Water might do an OIT. I've never worked for them. I have worked for a smaller regional contract operator. They weren't so hot on hiring OITs just because of that inherent risk. But look kind of in the place less looked at, and these jobs will not be glorious. You'll get paid very little. You might not get paid at all, okay? Be open to volunteering as an OIT, okay? This is kind of the shortest distance between 2 points. Also in California, there's a caveat to the 1800 hours. So if you're unaware of what I mean by the 1800 hours, you need to complete 1800 hours of full-time experience as an OIT, operator in training, before you can certify. This is for all grade levels, okay? You can't, even people that are coming in with a lot of experience, they're going to jump right to the grade 3 with their bachelor's degree. You still need the 1800 hours. You can't get out of that with experience. You have to, with education. There's no off-ramp. You have to do the 1800 hours. It's a huge barrier for entry. There's a loophole. If you can find a plant with a chief plant operator, and that chief plant operator is the only operator at that plant, check the regs on this. I've talked to operator certification about this. If you work part-time in that plant as the operator in training under that chief plant operator, your part-time experience qualifies as full-time experience and you will become a certified operator in 1 year. It doesn't take eons and eons to get your hours. A 3-hour shift is an 8-hour shift in the water board's eyes. That is written into the regulations to assist smaller utilities. If you were unaware of that, check it out. And if you work in a situation like that and you didn't know, this could be really helpful for you, okay? So check that out. And if you don't believe me, email OpCert yourself, because I've got the actual email that I'm not going to show it to you here on the camera, but I've got the email where they said, yes, you're reading that right. If you are the only chief plant operator is the only operator, and you hire an operator underneath you as an operator in training, part-time hours count as full-time, okay? So off that, my story is, I worked at Angel Island State Park as a maintenance aide, cleaning bathrooms and cutting grass. And they really needed water people, water operators, drinking and wastewater treatment. And I showed an aptitude for it. I really wanted to do it. And I had the vision that if I get into this industry as a college dropout, I could make a living wage. I could have a family and support my family, And I went for it. And I was making, I say $10 an hour. I think I'm making maybe $12 an hour. At this point, I was a senior maintenance aide, so they gave me another couple bucks in the Bay Area. But it was cool because it was cool. It was fine. I really enjoyed what I did. But so anyway, I take this job. It was just an added duty, and as an operator in training. And you know what extra pay I got for doing that? None. I went from cutting grass and listening to music and enjoying the scenery to being in a lift station wiring up a pump. Now, for me, that was cool. I preferred it because I knew the potential of what I was getting myself into. I knew the power of the certificate. If I could get it in my stinking hand, I could write my ticket somewhere. And that is eventually what happened. I got certified. It's a long story. I'm not going to give you every single little detail, but I ended up getting certified, and the money didn't follow with the state. So I actually ended up leaving. And I got on with a water utility, and it was great. It was not hard to do once I had the certificates in hand and some practical experience. That helped too. Went on and I did my thing, and then eventually my old boss contacted me and said he had a position open finally. If you want to come back to the state parks and work permanent full time, and I did, and it was wonderful. And then from there I left because I wanted, it was kind of getting a little boring and too simplistic for my scatterbrain. So I ended up now I'm here, and it's through all these different processes and different plants I worked at, and I'm loving life. So good for me, right? I'm just telling you my path because I think some people need to calibrate their expectations. I think you need to sometimes slow down to speed up. Look at the path less traveled. I wouldn't focus so much on the big utilities. If you want to swing for the fences, be my guest. Just be ready for the rejection letter, okay? Highly competitive. Look under rocks for state parks, mobile home parks, rural community services districts that have a hard time hiring. They will take the risk on an OIT because they really, unfortunately, don't have very many options. Okay, that's my story. That's my suggestion if you are having a hard time finding an OIT position. If you disagree with me, please put it in the comments below. I have my experience. I can only speak from what I've seen and what my colleagues have done. And I keep hearing the same thing. Volunteer, low pay, okay? Unless you are lucky enough to get on one of those highly competitive jobs. But if you have something else to share, comment, please. And if you have any questions, find me on LinkedIn. I'm pretty open. Anybody out there who's tried to reach me, they get a response. Now, whether I can completely help you or not is, I don't have a ton of control over that. I am very busy, but I will respond to you and I will do my best to help you. So anyway, with that, I hope you all have a great weekend, and we'll talk to you soon. Have a great one.